30 minutes. You know how long I've been talking to it. You know we've been talking and hang. Oh, but no, that's not it. What is it? What is it? What does he say?
Yeah. What did he say?
It's not talking and hanging. I know
It's
it's not
not.
that. Mhm.
What did he say? What did he say?
I got nothing.
That's not what he said. What did he say?
I can't think of what. It's not talking and hanging. I'm
And no,
literally
it's
keep
not
saying
talking
talking
to
and hanging in my head.
For those who don't know, who haven't figured it out, Kayla is
Mhm.
trying to figure out what they say in the wood.
Dun 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 dun. Oh, macking and hanging.
It is election day. What are you expecting to happen?
I totally forgot it was election day. I don't even know what day it is.
Well, you
Uh,
voted weeks ago, so
that was a that was hard enough. Not hard enough. It wasn't hard to vote. It was actually getting up there and going to vote was the hard part. Because
oh yeah.
I went twice to go vote, and one they were closed, and then the other time they were taking a break or something. And I was just like, all right, third time I come up here. If I can't vote, well, don't know what to do. But I just I honestly don't know what to expect. So I feel like everybody is pretty much like, oh, vote for Trump, vote for Biden, or not gonna vote. I don't know. So I don't know. How do you feel?
I feel like people are going to lose their mind.
Up in here, up in here.
Listen, like people are going to lose their collective mind, regardless of what the results are.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of prayer vigils happening across the country. There will be some civil unrest, and then some uncivil disobedience that occurs. And
Hmm.
then I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to work like I normally do.
Really?
The episode is going to premiere, and you know, life goes on.
That's
Life
true.
goes on. People thought like the world was over in 2016.
We made it this far.
Listen,
We made it this far.
I feel like the lady from Madagascar. I'm too old to die. Like it's just, it's like
When she said that, I was like, wait, what do you mean you too
you
old
want
to
me to stay
die?
out here? What? I'm too old to die. Oh,
How old
I
are you?
loved her character. I loved her character.
He's a very bad kitty. I was like, what the world? That was
uh,
that movie.
oh man, I love that series.
Not really.
Yeah, because the whole movie. Well, I guess it's an episodic movie series, but it was. But I enjoyed all three of them. I mean,
Yeah.
all three. I enjoyed every single one of them.
Mine would be
Uh,
three, one, and then two. Because I like that
mm,
there was a lot more singing in the third one.
yeah.
But the first time, I think I was middle school when the first one came out, I think. And it gave me all these ideas like, oh man, if I was stuck on an island, I would do the same exact thing. How Marty did when he was built his whole thing when he was like, wipe your feet. I'm like, wait, it's all a whole bunch of sand. But I don't know, it gave me like my imagination was like in full effect. So that's why I say three, one, and then two. Two I didn't really care for that much. Um
Yeah, it took me a minute to get into three, and
Three?
then yeah, yeah. But
Really?
when
Even with the I tried everything I could.
Stefano definitely, I think Stefano was probably my favorite character in three.
Yeah.
But the aside from Stefano, I liked the car scene. It was like, be cool, be cool, be cool. Hello, officer.
Oh my gosh. And what did Julian say when he was in the car? He was like Something
Don't take
take my
the
photo. Yeah,
photos.
yeah, don't take the photos.
Oh no,
You know,
paparazzi.
I was like, I need you to not, okay? Man, he
Oh
was
man.
hilarious though.
Oh, King Julian was, oh, he was hilarious.
Yeah, he
Yeah, when
made
I
the
said
movies.
Stefano was just like, oh, man, that I love that character. But thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Take a Space Podcast. I am your host, Leah. I'm here with our other host, Kayla.
Hey,
Thank you so much for tuning in. This is episode 20.
I know it's crazy.
We've
Yeah.
done 20 episodes.
By the grace of God, yes.
This is a podcast that really, um, it really kind of started on a whim a little bit.
Hmm.
And I say that it started on a whim only because I I didn't really have a plan for it when it started. And like now, like I really didn't. I really
Wait,
didn't
wait,
have
wait.
I didn't have a plan. I was like, "Oh, we get to talk about stuff. Okay, cool. I like to talk. Let's start a podcast."
So you were just going to start a podcast and then just have episodes of just talking.
Listen,
That's it.
figure it out along the way. That's actually how like a lot of my life is. Like even when I move,
Hmm.
I figure out just enough to get me to the next step, and then the rest of the stuff will work itself out.
Do you have a checklist?
No, I don't have a. I still do have a list of topics, but even going back to our first episode of the importance of taking up space,
Hmm.
uh, I I really wanted to have the space to talk about the why people really don't speak up for themselves or they don't advocate for themselves.
Hmm.
They tend to like shrink themselves in a way that is um, so that other people can be upheld or other
Yeah.
people can shine brighter and as if their voice does not hold the same value or same weight.
Hmm.
So um and in talking to a few different people, they were just like, oh my gosh, I love your advice. If you start a podcast, blah, 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 would love to listen. By the way, don't think those people have listened. Gonna be honest.
They just put it
I've
out there.
talked to a couple of those people after the fact, and they're still, we're on, this is episode 20 now. They're still, oh man, I never got a chance to listen to your podcast.
But it's like, okay, why would you give advice like that and then not even be supportive?
Listen, I think people just like to say stuff.
Well,
Personally,
they just like to
I
hear
think,
themselves talk.
oh yeah, oh yeah. But
Mm-mm.
I am excited. I feel like there's so many. I think that because I didn't come in with a full plan, I'm
Hmm.
more open to the possibilities. Whether it's picked up by a network, or I stay independent, or I collaborate with different hosts, and
Hmm.
or we change directions. I just like the idea of being open to different possibilities. But some people want to give you advice and tell you what to do, what equipment to buy, what
Hmm.
topics to have, if you should be explicit, if you should be clean, if you should be family friendly, if you should talk about relationships, talk about the Black community, talk about politics, talk about things you don't know, talk about books, talk about this. And none of your advice, none of this was requested. I did not put in a formal request to get
Nope.
any of this information.
Especially for me, I feel like people give more unsolicited advice because it's either they're trying to live their life through you,
Mm-hmm.
or they're trying to, I guess, make sure you don't make the mistakes they've made. But 9 times out of 10, because they're trying to live their life through you. Like, oh man, she has the opportunity to do that. I really wanted to do that back then. I can't do that no more. So let me make sure that she does it. And it's like, no. Okay? You had your chance. You had your moment. It's not my fault that you didn't take that leap of faith.
Right.
Who's to say it's too late? Why are you settling for, oh, I can't do this, so let me push it off on somebody else to make sure they do it. No.
Right.
Do it yourself. DIY. Okay? Do it yourself. It bothers me to no end because for me, I got a lot of more unsolicited advice, surprisingly, um, like after high school,
Of
when
course.
it's like,
Yeah.
okay, like, as opposed to now. I thought as a parent or becoming like a new mom, I would get a lot of unsolicited advice, and I didn't as much as possible. I didn't think I was gonna get um few that I did now. But like after high school, it was like, okay, what are you gonna do with your whoops? What are you gonna do with like after high school? Okay, well maybe you should do this. For instance, like I know I did say military or college,
Hmm.
but I knew myself, and I was like, I ain't really trying to do that. Like, I really wanted, honestly, just to go to work, and that was it. And then be able to make the choice of going back to school and completing it because I want to.
Right.
Like, I had that mindset of, no, I really don't want to go to school right now. I don't feel prepared. High school, even though everything in high school I don't really remember. Um, so me transitioning, going straight to college, I was like, I wanted, what do they call it? Like the gap year? I think
Yeah.
that's what they call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Add a S at the end. Gap years.
Let me
I
have
really
this
did.
gap period. Okay. I
Yeah.
just want a period where it's just a gap between high school and whatever the next step is. Just give me that
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. And but it wasn't on going to be on anybody else's dime. That's the thing because I was just like, why can't I just get a job and, just work? Um, oh, okay. I don't know what just happened there. Oh, okay. Anyways, I get that. Um, and so, but as a parent, I still got some a lot of people who like remember the story where the lady I was at Walmart and my hair was out and I
Yeah.
remember it was a Sunday and she was just like pretty much you look better. As for those who don't know, I'm all natural. I've been natural for what was it, 7 years now? Yeah, 2013. I did a big chop,
Hmm.
and so
Your
my hair
hair
was
was teeny weeny fro.
yeah, and my hair was very short. But this happened 2016, I believe, so about 4 years ago. I was at Walmart and this lady, I was in the hair aisle and trying to get my hair products, and this lady would just come up and try to touch my hair. I am very big on don't touch my child or my children, and don't touch my hair, especially if I don't know you. And I stepped back. And I was just like, "Oh no, 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 thank you." And she pretty much was just like, you'll look much more better. Uh, you look much more better. I think she said somewhere along the lines, you look more mature if I was to relax my hair. And I was like, first of all, lady, I see all that dandruff on your scalp. That is not a headband. That is dandruff. First of all, I'm like, no, don't tell me what you think is going to be best for me. You don't even know me.
Oh,
And for you to straight out say, "Oh, you look better if your hair is relaxed," I almost caught a case that day. I don't I just don't like it because and maybe I've also given us unsolicited advice, but I know that's coming from like a genuine what's the word I'm looking for? Like a
it's sincere. Yeah.
yeah, sincere. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is, and I think we all give unsolicited advice
Yeah.
to some degree, right? I think there's levels to this, and but I think also that the advice, when it's sincere, it comes from a place of I've seen this, I
Mhm.
want to help you do better. So maybe if you try this thing, maybe if you
Mhm.
do this thing. But some people want to walk around up to random strangers, tell them how to wear their hair, to even, oh, this is what I couldn't stand. Oh my gosh. I couldn't stand, like, I was at a debate tournament and I was like, man, I think I'm just gonna get some vegetables because we eat junk all weekend long.
Mhm.
And I was just like, I just need some vegetables. So my debate partner was just
Why you
like,
make that face?
because my debate partner was very lean. He was very skinny
Mhm.
and genetically skinny. Not that he worked out or anything, but genetically he's very skinny. But smokes cigarettes all the time. But will harp on me eating healthy, so as if me eating a piece of broccoli in your presence is gonna make me like lose weight or change my mindset about the way that I eat. So
The
people who
world?
listen, people
Wait.
when I say, "Oh, I'm gonna put," I remember one girl did this, and I don't think I've talked to her since. I think I was putting sauce or something on I forgot what the food was, but she was just like, "That's an extra 85 calories."
What?
Like
Did they ask you for
when
what's
I
the
tell
macro count?
you,
What the world?
oh, I don't. Have you seen the movie The Heat with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy?
I haven't finished it.
Okay, there's a scene where she like walks into the room and throws like a home phone book at the guy who's sitting at the table. I wanted to do that to her. I really did.
Really?
Like I wanted to take a whole phone book to her face, and I was just like, "No one asked you what I should do." Like no one is asking you how much. Like no one cares. Like if I cared about the calorie count, I would have my little notebook out and say, "Okay, how many calories can Leah have today?" Am I doing that? Absolutely not.
What the
Because I don't
world?
care. I'm not. Listen, you could worry about that and let me worry about this. But I think that you don't get a lot of. I think that you have stopped getting a lot of unsolicited advice just because you don't answer the phone.
They
Really,
put me on the spot.
you just
But
you just
that's
don't answer.
true.
You don't
That
like you you have done very well at putting up boundaries for people to actually like talk to you. So if they
yeah.
don't see you in person, it's hard for people on social, like, because people on social media give unsolicited advice all the time.
Mhm.
Even Pink, like Pink has fun with her kids all the time, and then she posts a picture of like with the kids in the kitchen while she's cooking, and they're, oh my gosh, this is
Yeah.
dangerous. It's like
Mhm.
Pink has always expressed the love that she has for her kids and her family.
Yeah.
Why would you put them in danger? But
Yeah.
all these
All of a
people
sudden, yeah. All of a
are all
sudden,
these experts, and so now she don't post her kids or anything on social media. She's just like, whatever.
and it's always the people who either want what they have or
Right.
and it's just like go find yourself. Like go do
Like,
something. Get a hobby. I don't know.
don't tell me, and I don't have any kids, but don't tell me how to raise my kids, especially when you had the opportunity to raise yours and yours are just not quite like they have like a Freddy Krueger in the family and like a Chucky in the family and like Michael Myers is somewhere in the background just lurking.
Mhm.
All your kids are like
Mm.
borderline sociopaths, but you want to tell me how to
How
act or how to
to
like, or even the ladylike thing, being told to be more lady. I didn't ask you. Like I'm in the store looking at shirts, and a lady came up to me. Doesn't even work there. Doesn't even work there. There's absolutely no conversation with this lady. She was just like, "Oh, you should get this top."
Why? Are you, mm, are you,
So I just
for
stood
what?
there. I like to be awkward for people just so that they walk away. So I just stood there, and she was just like, "I think this top will look nice on you."
People make
So
it so hard.
she tries to hand it to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
What?
she does.
Wait.
She tries to hand it to
What?
me.
Uh-huh.
So I reach out like I'm about to take it and pick another shirt off the side of the thing that's behind her, and then I walk away. And I was like,
I
people,
cannot. I can still see you do that.
like,
Ah, thank you. Let me take this one.
like, no, I did not address her at all. I did not acknowledge her presence or anything like that. I was just like, no, I'm not. Mm-mm. Don't tell me what to wear. Don't tell me how to talk. Don't tell me how to dress. How I am is how I am going to be. If you don't want to be around it, you have the option to go away.
Exit stage left.
Listen, you don't have to be in my space.
But you know what I realized though? It's
But
always the older generation who is like, let me tell you about yourself. And it's like, it's like, first of all, ain't
we
nobody
didn't have
asked
all
you.
that. We were able to do this. It is 2020. It is no longer
Ah.
1932 or 46 or whatever year you grew up in. But do tell me in 2020. I know some themes are still the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's always going to be, childbirth. There's always going to be kids that need help. There's always going to be,
Mm-hmm.
school, getting a job, but the way that things are done now,
Yeah.
those themes are a little bit different.
They're a
So
lot
it
upgraded.
used to be you can go to different jobs and hand out your resume and you just go door to door like you're a salesperson trying to sell yourself to get a job. It used to be
Mm-hmm.
that you could do that. Now everything is done electronically. So no, it's I'm not physically going to different places to pass out my resume. Some
No,
places
I'm.
you can still do that, but no.
Mm-hmm. I'm just clicking now. Um,
Right.
but I'm just like, I don't get why do they harp on, or they're so always complaining so much like, oh well, we didn't have that growing up, and it's like, okay, we're not growing up in the same time that you grew up in, so why are you so upset that I had this and you didn't? I didn't create this. This is my reality. Get over it, okay? like,
Tell us how
like
you
that's
really feel. Tell us how you really feel.
because when it comes to them old folks, okay, they old.
Oh. Mm.
I just don't like it when they have something to say about me and it's basically being disrespectful. It's like either you talk about the way I look, the way I dress, what I do, who I'm talking to, what my kids are doing. I'm like, look, okay, the glove's about to come off because I don't like it when I have to hold my tongue simply because of, like, for instance, as an example, like it's a family member. No,
Hmm.
I don't care.
Look,
You ain't gonna sit here and say what you gotta say, and then that be the end of the conversation. Oh no,
no,
you
stand there and let me disrespect you.
no, mm-mm,
Just
nope.
stand there and let me say what. Let me just disrespect you for a little bit. Then you can continue on with your day. Don't
Oh.
respond unless I ask you a question, but only give me the answer that I want.
But
Because if it's not juicy gossip, I don't want to hear it. I'm like,
really,
Bernadette, if you don't get off your stool,
not Bernadette.
don't worry about what you got going on.
What that little girl said, worry about yourself. And to me, I am more prone to laugh it off now because at first, yes, I did take like of course, I still take a huge offense to it, but I deal with it a lot better as opposed to just hearing them all the way through. I cut them off and say what I gotta say, and
Right,
then that's in the conversation there. You ain't gonna sit here and talk at me first of all,
right.
and be disrespectful. Um, and I remember there was this time when I can't remember where I was. I know I was at some type of event and constantly being told like, "Hey, Kayla, come here. Hey." And it's like, ugh. You know that one person
What?
who you're you know that one person you just can't stand? And it's like
Oh.
in that moment I was like, I tried everything I could to get away. And I'm just like, oh gosh, Lord Jesus. I'm like, okay, you know what? Just say hi and it'll be fine. It'll be it. So I walked over and I was just like, hey, how's it going? How are you doing? They didn't even say, oh, I'm doing good or how are you doing? It was more so like, you gaining weight. Like, why, you
Did you
gaining so
call me
much weight?
all the way over here to
Yeah.
tell me something that my parents told me before I came here?
I was just like, you can't be serious right now. And so my response was, okay, that's nice. Okay, and so then they didn't have a way, they didn't know how to respond to that. Because usually I'll just be like, okay. But now I'd respond, I was like, okay, that's nice. What's new? Mind you, keep in mind, regardless if I had a baby or not, but I just had Daniel. So of course my weight's gonna fluctuate. So but why does it matter? How is me losing weight or keeping my current weight gonna make you be better? Like why does it matter?
No, I don't
Why do
want
you
to be
have a say
better. I
so?
just want to talk about you because I feel like after being like that whole thing, the whole weight thing is ridiculous. Like it's arbitrary standards that we just look at people and expect them to look a certain way,
Mhm.
regardless of genetics, resources, or whatever the case may be. And now I've gotten to the point where people are like, "You gaining weight?" I'm like, "Did you like?" I had to stop myself because my legitimate response would be something along the lines of, no, my weight is hanging out with your third chin. And I feel like I don't want to be that mean. So I just kind of, I just tell people you don't want this because you don't want me to not be nice.
Do you remember those Chris I think no, I think it was Thanksgiving memes where it was just like your aunt
Oh
will
yeah,
say
the Thanksgiving
something.
clapbacks.
Yes. I can't remember what it was, but it was just like, oh, your aunt will ask you why are you still doing such and such, and then your response is, well, why you on your fourth husband?
Right. That's your second plate, and that's
And
your third husband.
yeah, yeah, that's what it was. I'm just like,
Those
ain't
tattoos are
nobody asked
permanent.
you.
So are those four kids. Yo. Oh, the
I can't wait for
Thanksgiving clap.
those. Yeah,
Oh, when
I
they come
definitely
back
can't wait.
around.
I can't wait for those to come out. But I'm just like, look, okay, y'all had y'all chance to live and do whatever it is y'all want to do.
Yeah.
Don't talk. First of all, don't talk at me. Second of all, whatever you got to say, I don't care. I truly don't.
Listen, you're not paying any of my bills.
And I'm just like,
You are not going to take up any therapy time for me.
mm-mm.
You're not going to be a thought by the time I get to the car. Like, let's just be real. Unless I ask you, if I like, and it's so funny because I think about EJ Speaks, who said she said something to the effect of if something's wrong, I'll tell you, or she didn't say if something's wrong, I'll tell you how to feel. If you have an opinion, I'll give it to you. And I was like, I'm like, I'm definitely gonna use that. Like,
Well,
if I trust you enough to ask you for your opinion in my life,
mm-hmm.
then it's because that relationship is there. If that relationship is not there and I have not come to you to say, hey, what do you think about this?
The,
Chances are, a little secret. I I don't care.
I cannot. I
I
can't with
I,
you.
I don't care. I don't care
I don't know.
that you think that I am not in a place where you feel like I should be, because I feel like you're projecting
Mm-hmm.
and you should probably work on getting to where you want to be. Because
Save your
regardless
chest. Mm-hmm.
if I start a family early or start a career late or find my passion at the age of 65, that's my business.
It's not gonna make or
Whatever
break
I
you.
decide to do.
Yeah.
It's all of my. You did not listen. You're not in on this heist. You have nothing to do with my books. You have nothing to do with my job. You have nothing to do with my house. There's nothing that you have a buy-in on. You just want to be able to say, I told her she couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or be the biggest cheerleader. Listen,
She didn't do it
y'all
because
see
she,
us on the
yeah.
red carpet.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a whole section on the red carpet that we're going to put all the people who wanted to give us unsolicited advice about what we should do with our life. They're going to have their own section in the gallery, just their own section off to the side across the street.
Gotta go see. You almost just made me choke.
Like you can come, you can't get into the party just so that I can play that part of Chris Brown song that says, "How you gonna hate from the outside of the club? You can't
You
even
can't
get
even get
in."
in. Oh my gosh. See. The
No,
best
but I,
side.
I just get fed up. Like I think that at some point you just got to get fed up with just people wanting to like play play life with your life. Like they can just roll the dice and tell you what to do. I have a bone to pick with you, and
Why?
I don't know how to tell you
Mm-hmm.
that I'm very disappointed in you.
Okay.
I had to find out from Drake that Rance Allen passed. And I know how much you love Rance Allen.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't tell me
Mm-hmm.
that he passed. I had
Mm-hmm.
to learn late in the midnight. I think it
Really?
was it was 1 a.m. when I found out. The next day, and you didn't tell
So
me.
what difference did it make by you knowing
Everything,
how?
the shock that I knew that you knew
Mm-hmm.
and didn't tell me.
So you would have been like, if I would have told you, oh man, that's so sad to hear.
We could have bonded together and we didn't. We found out separately. And now I feel like the moment's passed.
What? Anyways, thank you all for joining. This has been another episode of Take Up Space.
We're not
We're gonna,
done.
yes, we are. We're gonna pray for Leah
We're not
because
we're not done. This
I
episode is
know
way too short. We only got
I
like 30
cannot.
minutes of content.
What do you mean 30 minutes? You know how long I've been talking to you. You know we've been talking and hang. Oh, but no, that's not it. What is it? What is it? What does he say?
Yeah. What did he say?
It's not talking and hanging. I know
It's
it's not
not.
that. Mhm.
What did he say? What did he say?
I got nothing.
That's not what he said. What did he say?
I can't think of what. It's not talking and hanging. I'm
And no,
literally
it's
keep
not
saying
talking to
talking
him.
and hanging in my head.
For those who don't know, who haven't figured it out, Kayla is trying to figure out what they say in the wood.
Dun 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 dun. Oh, macking and hanging. I told you because I kept saying. I was like, I kept saying talking and hanging in my head. I was just like, that doesn't sound right.
It's definitely not that.
Why are you adding so much stress to my life?
Anybody making you breakfast?
Was he? He was drunk, wasn't
He had grits in his head. He was like, "Where'd you get the grits from? Ain't nobody making you breakfast."
he? Well, I
No.
don't know why I think it was the next scene when she was hosing them down with the water hose.
What would you do? What would you do
Mhm.
as a mother if your son, let's say Daniel is 12
Mhm.
and a little girl in his class messaged you on social media
Mhm.
and told you that she wanted to talk to your son. She said, "Hey, Miss Byers, I just wanted to know if I could date your son Daniel." I don't
No,
know how 12-year-olds talk. I'm just completely out of the loop with that. But what would your response be?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't say date. I would say yeah, you could definitely be his friend, but no, there will be no dating. Like you guys could be friends. Like I know we always joke around like, you ain't gonna be talking to my son. Like you gotta wait till he gets older. But no, I would more so. I guess it would be like a correction and be like, no, you won't be dating. You guys will definitely, you guys could be friends if he wants to be friends. But there's not gonna. I don't know at what age. I don't feel like with age, like oh, when you're 16, you can date. I feel like it's more so maturity. But
Okay.
to
How do
me,
you expect them to get mature? Like, are you, because we had, well, so I don't know. It was weird because I started dating till I was like 23. And I think there's a lot of parents who are just like, don't like, they'll tell their daughters not to talk to other guys, for the
mm-hmm,
sake of don't look fast and don't do this and don't be
yeah,
out there passing out cookies and all this kind of stuff, right?
mm-hmm.
And then they wonder why these girls are like 30 years old and still single. Well, I didn't date when I was in high school. So I have no social skills when it comes to relationships. So what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Um, no, there was a little girl who messaged the mother, and I I have a problem with it just because one, like I appreciate the respect in asking me.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. But couple things, just a couple things. Um, where's your mother? Okay.
How did you get access to message me? First of all,
Right. Like where is your mother? Let's start there. Where is your mother? Uh, do you know your father? Does your father know you're messaging me?
dang,
Like,
really.
I have a lot of questions. Um, why? What steps did you take to think that messaging me on social media was the best course of action, as opposed to, I don't know, walking up to my child and saying, "Hey, I like you." Like, I get the part of being respectful and wanting to talk to the parents to get permission,
Mm-hmm.
but little Miss little Miss Ma'am, I'm not gonna call you, anything out of, respect for you as a child. Um, but this type of behavior
Mm-hmm.
belongs to a group of girls who, in my era of growing up, were called fast-tailed girls. These are the girls who were considered, who grew up to be loose women.
Not
Um,
loose.
yes, loose with their morals and loose in life, just loose.
Really.
But I don't know. I feel like, and granted, I don't have any kids. I can only assume how I would act, but I think that it would be more, don't bring me in it
Yeah.
unless I need to be brought in it. If you don't, if you and if she and if I mean, if I had a relationship with her, whereas like they played on a team together or they hang out in class together or they've done projects together or whatever the case may be, if I knew her, I would feel like I would have a better relationship or conversation with her and her parents to know what her family
Yeah,
life is like.
I was definitely
So
saying
that,
her parent as well.
yeah, because I would feel like this conversation, like, yo, so my kid is 12, your kid is 12. Your daughter wants to date my son. Are you interested in her? He's not interested. So I can't force my kid to be like, yo, talk to this kid. I'll be like, look, be honest with her, but be nice.
Yeah, don't definitely don't give her high hopes and be like, yeah, well, one day, no.
No,
Say how
don't
you
tell
feel
no,
right now.
no.
Say how you feel right now and let
Listen,
it be
just
known.
be honest in what you want in these relationships. Like,
Yeah.
but I don't think that I would be as understanding as you are in this scenario, just because you're 12. You're like, what is he doesn't have a car. He does not have a job.
I think it's just the whole. It's to me, it's more of the title because I was actually in this same situation, but I think I was yeah, I think it was either 12 or 11.
Wait, you messaged
And
somebody else's
no, no, no,
parent?
no, 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 no. I just remember there was a boy who I did like, and I was told, "No, you gotta wait till you're 16." And I was just like, "What difference gonna make?"
I mean,
But if
unless you're like in cotillion or etiquette class or like some kind of training, putting an age on when you can date doesn't really help unless
yeah,
there's like you have to complete, like, you know how you have to go through 4 or 5 years of college before you get your bachelor's and you have to like have so many credits.
mhm,
If you're not doing that as a preteen, then saying that you can only date when you're 16 means that, because people, if my kid, found a chick that he liked, if he was 12, right? And he says that, hey mom, I like this girl, or I find out that he's taught that he likes a little girl in class or whatever.
mhm,
I think that my husband and I, and this is me, my response, because most guys are like, oh yeah,
yeah, yeah,
but
excited, yeah,
my response would be more so making sure he understands the responsibility he has in, making sure that she is aware of what, no, what am I trying to say?
mhm,
I want him to make sure that he understands that he has a responsibility for being honest with her.
yeah,
And so I will want him to understand that. I don't want to police him. I don't want to, but I want him to, make sure, you treat her like a gentleman. You ask her, like, does she want to go places? You don't tell her what to do, just like she doesn't need to tell you what to do. If you
exactly,
decide to do things as couples, like, I would let him know like the standards of a relationship and let him figure it out from there. But I can't say that. I mean, when he's like 10 and 11, boy, you just learned how to tie your shoes yesterday. No, no, no. But like 12 is almost what? That's seventh grade. That's middle school.
mhm,
That's when you start building that foundation. So I wouldn't necessarily be. I wouldn't be upset with him entertaining the idea of dating someone. I would just want to make sure that he is a gentleman in all aspects and understand that what his responsibility is as being that role of a boyfriend, and what that looks like in a relationship. Not saying that it's so deep, but those feelings do feel real at that age.
yeah.
For any girls who would be in the same group as these
I cannot
other
with you.
young other young girls who be hunching in the back of the church, you don't want your daughter to do that. That's why we want to talk to the mom and be like, hey.
She did not just say hunch, Lord
I'm
Jesus.
just saying. I want to make sure that all parties are aware, that the parents know what's going on. But if your parents are not around you and you just left to your own devices, no, you absolutely cannot date my child. You have no parental supervision at home. I don't know what your morals are. I don't
Uh,
no, no,
it's a no for me.
no. But thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. This has been another episode of Take a
Episode
Space Podcast.
20.
Thank you all for your support. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you haven't already, make sure that you rate us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you're listening to this. Make sure you give us a
Mm-hmm.
thumbs up. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Do all the things, all
Pew,
the
pew, pew,
things.
pew. I gotta get the little horn thing because I really want that.
I don't want you to have that.
I'm so gonna have that.
We're still looking for another host, another co-host. So if you're interested, just make
Yeah,
sure.
if you want to be the third co-host, that's totally fine.
No, not a third. Not a third. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. No. Thank you. No. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. And make sure you tune in on
Bye.
Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern time on Facebook and YouTube. We'll be going live.
Live. Bye.